Perfect. Welcome everyone to our first episode of our new series, Ask the Expert. I'm Kelly McNamara, Events Marketing Specialist here at Staffbase. I'm joined by the wonderful Danielle Hull. We'll give a few minutes, I guess, for everyone to join, to log in. Hope everyone got their favorite cup of tea or coffee. I'm a tea drinker. So please respond in the chat. Let us know where you're joining from. I'm in a sunny Pennsylvania right now. It's actually not too cold. Danielle, you're in Chicago, right?
Yeah, I haven't been outside yet today, but yesterday was okay. It was in the 60s, I think. So, aiming for that. But it's funny because 60 for some folks is, you're putting a jacket and a scarf on. I wore a jean jacket, so that kind of tells you where I'm at.
Ooh, okay. Chicago was beautiful. Everyone's like, you're going to be freezing when you went. I went last weekend and I was like pleasantly surprised.
Oh, yeah, last weekend was really nice. It was very good weather.
And I found out a fun fact that Chicago's not called the Windy City because of the weather.
Oh, yeah, it's the politicians being so corrupt.
Yeah, that's what my boat tour said. That's funny.
Oh, did you go on the architectural boat tour?
I did. It was amazing. Oh, we have another Chicagoan. I don't even know how to say that. Chicagoan. We made that up. New term. Welcome. Great. Well, everyone, we're coming up to 2 minutes, so we'll just get started. This is our new series at Staffbase Ask the Expert. We'll be doing a bi-weekly episode, so tune in 2 weeks for a new episode. Super exciting. Really, what we want is to create a space for communicators to come together, to learn something, feel inspired, to vent. We're all in this small community of workers together. But yeah, Danielle, I'm super excited to have you on board. Do you want to give a bit about your background at V and what you do there?
Yeah, absolutely. So, hi everyone. My name is Danielle Hall. I'm the Employee Communication Specialist with V Senior Living. V Senior Living is a luxury retirement brand. We have 10 communities across the states, and then we have a corporate office in Chicago. We had started using Staffbase as a digital platform, as a way to communicate with our employees. So, a lot of our employees are non-desk based. So, about 80 to 85% are those frontline workers. We have, housekeepers, servers, maintenance crew, and folks like that. So it's really important to us to have a mobile app, and we'll probably talk about it a lot today. But that mobile app is the easiest way to contact those frontline workers who aren't at a desk all day. And we have just under 3,000 employees. And we started using this platform coming close to 2 years, about March of 2022, the same time that I joined the company. So I've been in this ride. Before that, we were doing print media and emails mostly. So it's been a really exciting journey.
Great. Thank you for that. So if you have any questions or comments or anything for Danielle, for myself, please feel free to post in the chat. We'll try to get to all the questions as we can. And the best thing is about LinkedIn, if we don't get to everything, Danielle and I both can also go back into the comment section afterwards and answer your questions. So today we want to dive into key trends to cultivating an energetic community in the workplace. So super exciting. Danielle, before we get started, I know me and you've talked a lot about how really company culture is the backbone to creating a sense of community. Can you give us a little bit of a background about what the culture is like at V?
Yeah, so V being a bit more of a hospitality brand, it's really important that everyone feels kind of that respect. And respect is part of one of our core values, but just something that we want to make sure if you go anywhere, you can talk to anyone, whether it is our residents or, the executive director at a community, to housekeeping or anything like that. Even the communities I visited, coming in as an outsider, like visiting from Chicago at like a community in Florida, everyone's so warm. And I actually interviewed someone recently, a security supervisor at a community, who said he doesn't know if people come in this way or if V makes them this way. But yeah, just kind of a warm culture, I guess I'd say, of respect.
I love that. So I know, like you said, being in hospitality, you have a lot of people, who are not at their desk. And you also have I'm assuming a lot of different locations across the country.
Yeah.
So how do you keep, that must be hard. Like, how do you keep everyone kind of like, how do you instill the culture with everyone? How do you create that community with so many different locations?
Yeah, that's something too that was really important for us to get a mobile app in that way. But there's a couple different ways that we go about kind of continuing to not curate, but keep the brand consistent. It's just one, we have, so I make company wide content, and that could be messages from the CEO. We do big messages about all the people that were promoted within the company, different things like that come from me. But we also have HR folks on the ground sharing updates about the community, whether it's internal or external. Maybe there's something going on literally in the community at that time that they want to share, and having meetings with those folks. We meet with them monthly just to talk about what they're putting out, how much they're putting out, and then we have these huge collaborations with all of we call them content creators, to talk about, hey, like, have you seen anything, has anything been sort of engaging to people that you'd like to pass on to another location? Because it's not like they get to talk about these things all the time. I mean, they have so many responsibilities as HR team. So kind of just having conversations continuously and seeing different ways what works for each community and how we can keep that kind of theme consistent.
Nice. And do you me and you were talking about this because I know at V you guys are really big on kind of showcasing employees and their stories.
Yeah.
Is there anything that this is just me being curious as well. Is there anything that you do to like kind of, I know you mentioned each community has their own page, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
So is there anything that you do to kind of like showcase what each community is doing? Is that something that you take on as like IC leader to like showcase what each community is doing? Or is that something that you kind of leave to the community leads?
Yeah, so it depends on what it is. Typically, if someone does a big volunteer project at a community, that's something we post company wide. Even if it's just a community in Arizona doing it, it's something great that they did that we want to showcase. Like there was a lot of people participated in the Alzheimer's walk recently. We've also had, people participate in breast cancer walks. So we do things like that where we do spotlights to showcase like, hey, this is something we kind of want to share. There's also different things that we've actually done a couple of focus groups recently that people want to hear about, possible developments of new communities, or if a certain community is getting just new development in general, maybe they're getting a new facility, other people want to hear about that. So that's something that we share, as well as employees. So with employees, we want to take a server who went to a lead server, different promotions, and we share that company wide, regardless of where they are, just to keep that that energy up and kind of be like, you know what, I have a future here at V.
I love that. That's so great. How do you guys, so we're talking about like how each community has their own page, but I guess we should backtrack a little bit. I know, like you said, I think 85% of your workforce, 85% is non-desk workers. That's insane, but also like exciting. So I think, what are some of the tools or strategies you use to like really keep, people on their feet all day long, like keep them engaged?
Yeah, so different, it's been something that kind of throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks in terms of numbers. So, the employee spotlights where we're sharing those stories always do well. People love to see, themselves in other people and see people grow, especially if you know that person, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we also do a lot of fun things to keep people engaged. Even like I've had people come up to me at a community and say, I really like that we did that contest. I had a hard day at work and I saw this. Sometimes it's something silly. It could be like a trivia quiz to celebrate National Accounting Day and stuff like that.
That's a great
keeps people engaged and they're like, okay, I'll go on here. But also putting resources on it. We really are shaping it into an intranet in the way that you can look up any benefit information on there. Like if you want to go really quick and see your dental plan, you can do it within 30 seconds and get that PDF, the website number. So that's been something really big because these are non-desk-based workers. So if they want to find something really quick, it's in their phone, essentially.
I love that. Honestly, I feel like the one great thing about like all the new digital like platforms and apps and everything is like having your resources available to you. I cannot tell you how many times I'm the person who goes to the dentist and goes to the doctor and doesn't bring like my health card, and like having that on my app has changed my life. So I love that. Like, do you get any resistance though with any employees who don't want to use the app, like who aren't energized to do that?
Yeah, so there's two ways that we're planning to combat that. Because again, we've recently done these focus groups in person. Like hey, tell us, like, we're not going to take any offense. Be honest with us. Like, is there any reason you don't want this app? And we've heard two things. One, I don't have enough storage in my phone or stuff
Yeah.
like that. So we're looking into putting tablets into break rooms that have a general account that they can go ahead and view these resources on for their community and company wide. We also have heard, hey, are you tracking me? Like, can you tell, like, John Doe is looking at this at 9 p.m. or something? Like, so that's something that we're looking to kind of share in a fun, creative way. We haven't super decided if it'll be video or written with a couple of graphics, but to kind of showcase, like, hey, we can only see a broader image of, like, how many people looked at this, how many people liked it, your comments. Like, obviously, your comment is assigned to your name. There's no anonymous comments, but we're not looking at, like, so-and-so was on their phone during their
Yeah.
shift in this way. So that's something that we really want to share, and we're hoping that'll get more people on.
Awesome. Awesome. And I know you guys did a lot of like, which I thought was so cool, just from like a building community perspective. But I know you guys did a lot of like parties and stuff to
Yeah.
celebrate. Right? Like, what was that about? Like the beehive or?
Yeah, so our platform is bee themed. So it's
Okay.
called Beehive. And we have this anonymous poster who posts all the company wide news. You can probably guess who it is. But she's called Queen Bee. And so everything is bee themed in terms of that, which doesn't necessarily tie into our brand. So it's only our internal communications are these bee themed things. So during launch, all of the communities in these great HR teams, they're so hands on, so great, and so awesome at collaboration and willing to try things. They had these like so creative launch parties for them. There was like different honey themed treats. I think some communities even dressed up in bee like themed attire and
Oh,
costume.
wow.
Made it really exciting to get these folks signed on, and that was huge. Just our HR teams in general, even like during orientation, it's part of orientation to sign on, and these team members show them like, hey, this is where this is, and this is how you'll get community updates, and make sure to turn on your notifications, and that type of thing has really helped drive people on.
I love that. I think I love it just from a perspective too, of just like a team building exercise. Like, you know what I mean? Like getting fun and like, I mean, we all love a theme party. Like,
Yeah. Even when we did the focus groups, we were like, okay, we're doing honey. It was like honey vanilla cupcakes or something. And like that got people in.
that's awesome. But
So,
that must be a great, like from an IC perspective as well, though, that must be a great opportunity. Like, obviously you're working with HR, you're working with different departments, but
right.
for you, it gives you great content, I assume, right? To like
Mhm.
engage with like the entire workforce, like what each person's doing, each like,
Yeah.
that's awesome. I love that. And did you like share videos or like anything like
Yeah, there were certain like a lot of HR, everyone does it differently. So either they sent in photos or some of them did it themselves, and they would make this cute like slideshow video of how the parties went. It was really exciting just to kind of see. And then even we hit our 1 year of having this platform in March, and we did a celebration where it was kind of like spreading the it was, what was it, expanding the hive, I think is what we called it. And we sent out
oh, that's
these
so
seed
cute.
packets with a QR code, and it was supposed to be like, blossom with beehive kind of thing. So it was cute. It's really, it's a good theme. So I would suggest
Yeah,
that you have more ideas, I guess.
I love it. Anything that goes back to like the beehive and I think of Beyonce. So I'm all on board.
That would have been funny.
But no, this is great. And I think so as we're talking about all these like great things that you do and the great content you push out, is there any, I mean, transparency and open communication, I feel like is huge in any company, and to get, employees, feeling encouraged and connected. How would you say in your experience, like that transparency has strengthened like your employee engagement?
Yeah, I think just being honest about things and allowing people to be able to give open feedback
Yeah.
in a way that's sort of like open arms. Like, we don't have any restrictions on any post about comments. Like, everything you're able to say something. And this Queen Bee persona likes every comment. There's not a comment that doesn't have a like on it from Queen Bee, unless it's snuck under the rug or something. But and if there's like any questions on there, we also do a lot of posts, especially when we started to kind of get this going. It was posts that were essentially not related to work. it would be like, share more about your culture, and people would be in the comment section sharing about their culture and things like that. But
Oh,
say
no.
it's really nice. It makes it more like comfortable, and we
Good.
continue to do things like that. But even like allowing people to just ask questions, and normally, like even recently, we did a recruiting post. We have different recruiting tactics as everyone does, and someone had a question about this platform they use for recruiting, and that's just Queen Bee reading it and then tapping on the shoulder of the director of recruiting, and the director responds directly to them for everyone to read. So very transparent in that way too. It's not like, hey, I private messaged you or anything like that. We don't have that feature. We just
Yeah.
do comment sections, and if they have questions, normally they'll give the email if you have further questions that are more personal.
Oh, it's so if you see a question then for like that's really directed to your HR, like your HR lead or your finance
Mhm.
director or whatnot. So you will
Yeah.
reach out
So
to them.
typically, I send them, what the comment is, and then I tell them, hey, can you hop on VHive and respond to them?
That's awesome. And your leader, like everyone's like been on like all your leadership you have on board.
Yeah, I mean, for stuff like that too, especially if it's such a specific question. I mean, I guess we haven't had resistance for if they're like, oh, I don't have time or something like that. I
Mhm.
mean, everyone's been pretty open to just hopping on and being able to comment on those things. And if it has happened in that way, then Queen Bee comments as them with the response that that director or leadership gave. So it's all kind of funneling down on that. But most of the time, they hop on and respond themselves. So I think that kind of makes people think, hey, like, my comment mattered and someone cared enough to respond.
No, I totally agree. So how do you guys deal with? I mean, I know, you know, with COVID, everything. And then there was a time when internal communicators were transparent about everything, and then there was a time where it's like almost too much information, and try and navigate that. So how do you know? Like, how do you deal with? I guess how do you deal with communicating the tough news? How do you deal with like communicating the changes in your company or knowing when to say it and stuff like that?
Yeah, so the first thing that comes to my mind on that is right when I started, we had a change of CEO, and it was just like kind of figuring out, and it was kind of nice because it started. The change was right when we had this platform come out.
Hmm.
So the way that we sort of tackled that was sharing personal anecdotes about our new CEO and the things that he believes in and about his family, like certain things that you wouldn't necessarily get from an interview or from viewing his profile on LinkedIn, and just sort of showing the person that he is and how he aligns with V. And in our case, he had already been with V for, I want to say, like 20 years at that point. So it's not like he was new to V. He just moved into a different.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, but no one, there wasn't necessarily stories about him to folks, especially, there wasn't really stories on this platform yet. We had just kind of put it out. So, sort of deciding to, okay, like, what way do we want to share about him? Like in that time, we were still doing more writing focused content, and we switched over to a bit more video recently.
Okay.
So including him in videos and things like that too. And that's just deciding, like, is this too much? Is it too, just going based off of those numbers? You never know unless you try something. Everyone's company is different. And look at those numbers being like, oh, people liked this. Because in the comments, you can see like, oh, it's nice to see like this is his background, or this is where he's from. Or people get a little camaraderie with saying like, oh, we support the same sports team and things like that.
Yeah. I love to like, I mean, just showcasing how he was there for 20 years.
Right. Right.
Like,
It's definitely something like, okay, he's committed to V.
yeah, that's amazing. Have you ever like received this just like I mean, have you ever received any negative feedback like from your content or something didn't go well or whatnot? Like how do you kind of handle that?
Yeah. So, two things come to mind. One, if we get like a negative comment, normally it's addressed, but I haven't really received any. I don't know because like, yeah, I'm trying to think like, I don't know if there'd be too much for them to negatively comment on. Besides, there
Yeah.
was one time I put a math quiz out for, I think it was like National Payroll Day or something. And someone was like, this could have been harder. So then Queen Bee goes in there and she's like, next time it will be, like, thank you for your feedback and just keep it upbeat and positive. But
I love
also
you address it though. Like you addressed it though. I don't
yeah, like I'm like, you know what? Thank you. Because I was like, I don't know if I want to make this math problem hard. It's supposed to be fun, but next time it will. We'll make it a little more challenging. But also doing those focus groups and having people be like, hey, tell us the hard facts. The only other thing is we're getting too many push notifications. Like we want
yeah.
more sort of streamline content to those folks. So that's something we've started grouping, like, hey, we're spotlighting a nurse this week from the other side of the country, but we're going to send it out to all nurses, but we're not necessarily sending it out to housekeeping folks too. So
Yeah.
it's up for everyone to view, but you won't get that buzz on your phone unless you're in that group.
That's great. That's a great idea, though. Yeah. Kimberly has a great question. How do you decide which platforms to be more personal on?
Yeah. So for us, we have this internal and it's only internal. So there's no way that really any of you could hop on unless you are working for our company to view that content. So that's pretty personal in that way. I think definitely our content's longer in our app compared to, like, we work with our recruiting team. Recruiting team handles our social media primarily. So we work with them each week. We decide, hey, this is what we're putting out this week. We give them that content, and then they decide kind of how to splice it up. Typically, because you figure on Instagram, you're not really putting, or LinkedIn, and even you're not putting like paragraphs like you would in our internal app. So it's just deciding. Normally, it's like based on their role, if they had a promotion. But yeah, I would say internal applications, we're putting like, hey, this person has 4 kids and they are originally from this place and stuff like that. So we're definitely sharing that for internal channels and not necessarily external channels. So that's the note that we use, and it seems to work for us.
I think that's great. Kind of changing a little bit into a different, topic is, I want to talk about kind of, I guess, the benefits that make everyone like energetic in the workplace. Everyone loves a good benefit. And I know at V, you guys have a great, learning and development initiative, which I think is very commendable. So can you kind of give us a little bit of background about like what you guys offer at V to kind of encourage employees to like keep learning, to keep, growing and whatnot?
Yeah, so we have a couple different things. One is tuition reimbursement. That's something, it doesn't fully, but you get like a stipend per year for it. And that's something too, just to encourage folks like, hey, when you come here, we'll also help you out with that. That's something that's really big. And we promote that like crazy. We also have all of the application and all the resources to, even if you're just thinking about it, it's on our internal platform to be able to look at like, okay, like this is what I would need to do. This is how I have to fill it out. Because sometimes filling out forms is enough for people to kind of be like, you know what, I might not be into it. I don't know what the process is. We also have a great management development program, which that one you're basically asked like, hey, do you want to apply to this program? And it's I think it's like 5 to 15 folks at each community, and it was just brought back this year, but it was a program that was before COVID. It's just kind of finding the legs after COVID, as everyone has probably been through. But that program's super great. And talking about that, we've even made channels for certain communities, like if especially like outside of the corporate office, if it's a bunch of different folks who maybe don't work together, our community, if someone in dining isn't working with someone in maintenance per se, so we've even made channels for that, just for them to talk on there and be like, hey, here's the link for our project. You work on a project all year, essentially. I think it's like 9 or 10 months this program runs. And it's just to encourage people like, hey, like, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get a promotion, but you're going to learn some skills on the job with V leadership to just learn more about the company, but also develop those skills and learn new things that maybe you didn't know before. So that's something really exciting.
Yeah, I love how because I know that the learning and development team, drives these programs.
Yes.
But honestly, like if for internal communicator, I think it's so important, you're the one who's like really encouraging the employees to do it as well. So
yeah, and kind of like learn more about it. Even our great HR teams. Like, I feel like I've like really talked them up this time, but like they're so good about being like, hey guys, like it's the last day to enroll, like in tuition reimbursement, like be sure if you're interested, kind of thing. So just keeping people informed, because the year flies by. Everything goes by so quick. And if you're not thinking about it, like you can miss out on these great opportunities.
I know. I can't believe it's Christmas, so I get it. Like it flies by. No, that's awesome. That's awesome. I know we're coming close to like 5 minutes. So if you have any further questions for Danielle, please put them in the chat. Let us know. We want to, make the most of your time and answer your questions. I do have a question for you, Danielle. Kind of like, I guess just my my own question. But with the holidays coming up, you have a lot of, employee burnout. You have a lot of people who are like overwhelmed, stressed, whatever. Do you have anything fun planned like in your comm strategy at V to like kind of keep momentum or, celebrate or whatnot?
Yeah. So I think we're gonna reuse what we did last year because it was such a hit. We did a holiday decor contest. So it could have been your house, and it's any holiday. Or it could have been some people decorate their desks or their departments really well. Like even
Ooh,
saw a post from Halloween. The housekeepers decorated their carts to match with their costume. Someone was like a scarecrow and they did like
love that.
it was so cute. So we're doing that. And last year it was for a prize. And the way that we do it is like last year we did, okay, like this is the main post. Put your pictures below this, and then you'll like these pictures as votes. So whoever gets the most votes, I think we did like top 3 last year. And we'll do like gas gift cards probably. Gas is like really big. I mean, we know gas is always expensive. So we
Yeah.
typically give out a gas gift card, or we'll give out like some type of basket of themed goods, but this one will probably be gas. And that's really fun. So that'll be fun. We're also having some messages from the CEO go out. So that'll be really nice. And just kind of like some more video content. We're doing a little bit less. I don't want to say less manicured because I'm putting a lot of effort into editing these. But we got like all of the equipment and we were like, okay, we're doing like SNL weekend updates type style, like super
Yeah.
short, less than 2 minutes. It'll be really fun. So we'll do some holiday themed stuff with that. I'm really excited to see how that turns out. So, and how I look on camera, we'll see. But it'll be really exciting. I think keep the holiday spirit up.
No, that's so fun. Honestly, every time I talk to you and I get like I get like what you guys are doing at V, I think I get so excited. Like it just sounds so
Oh,
great. You guys are always doing like, because it really just seems like a family. Like your employees just seem so excited to be there. And like I know your retention. I mean, you guys have a really good retention. Like,
yeah, we really do. A lot of our employees stay for a really long time. Even today, we got an email. It's someone's 25th anniversary.
wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of folks, even in the corporate office, who have definitely been there. I think, I don't quote me on this, but I want to say the average tenure is like 7 years. I believe I heard someone say that once. But it's just, yeah, a lot of people stay for a really long time. And it's really encouraging to me. Even when I had first started, we focused a lot on these employee spotlights. We wanted to get people to see their face on our app.
Yeah.
So just meeting with folks and seeing, like, we started with milestone anniversaries. That's how we kind of got into those.
Mhm.
So meeting folks that have been there for 10, 15, 30 years is crazy. Like to kind of see, like, even through sort of like a rebound of the company, have just seen different change in leadership and everything
Yes.
is unbelievable. And is really motivating even to me. I've been here a little less than 2 years, and like I tell my family all the time, like I will be here for a while. So it's really motivating even to me to see those things and share those things.
That's awesome. No, I love that. And I'm so excited. I mean, I'm definitely going to connect with you and I want to know, definitely post on LinkedIn for all of our listeners what you guys are doing. Cause I'm so excited to see like the decorations and like what your community is doing. I think that's amazing.
Yeah,
Um,
it'd be really fun.
Danielle, this has been great. I feel like the half hour flew by.
Yeah.
Anybody has any last burning questions, please put them in. Like I said, you could connect with myself or Danielle on LinkedIn. We do have a couple, great things coming up here at Staffbase. We have our next episode that I'm going to put in the chat right now, should be coming up, which is with Susan Griffin from South Shore Help in 2 weeks, November 30th. And we also have a great event coming up on December 13th, I'm sorry, which is Lead, Integrate, Communicate, Comms Leader Guide to Intranet Excellence. You can register. It's a 3-hour virtual event where you can learn how to integrate your new intranet platform, what you could do with the metrics, and just kind of see what other companies are doing with their platform on their modern intranet. And that will be coming in the chat right now. So thank you so much, everyone. Danielle, this was such a pleasure. I hope to have you on again. And I think your insight and what you're doing at V is like amazing. So thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. I'm always game to talk about anything. I also love just connecting with other folks. Like I did one a couple weeks ago and someone reached out and we were talking. And I was like, this is great because there's so much that I can learn from different things. And just like this whole navigating, having a mobile platform was so like daunting when I first started. Now I'm like, this is so fun, and just be able to communicate with folks and share kind of the culture of V has been just really, really fun. I don't have any other word for it. Other than that, I feel really lucky.
Honestly, the one thing I like about the internal comms communities, I feel like everyone, like, there's so many things I like, but like it's just so nice that like everyone's in the same boat and everyone kind of can share ideas with each other.
Yeah.
It can be tough. It can be tough. So
Yeah.
it's fun to come together, to vent, to like acknowledge, to inspire. So thank you so much. This was a great first episode. And yeah, so I'm excited to see everyone who's celebrating. Happy Thanksgiving, and see you in 2 weeks.
Awesome.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.